So today's video is going to be my first month's update on Isotretinoin. So I actually take the brand Absorica, but it's the same thing as Accutane. They're both just like kind of like brand names for the medical drug name Isotretinoin. So don't be confused when it comes to that. It's all the same thing. So this video is going to be covering last month's, which is my first month of Isotretinoin. So I'm basically going to break it down for you in like before and after pictures. I took a picture each week on the same day, my first month, which I'll do the entire time I'm on this medication. So I'll show you that, and then you can see my skin now, and then I'll go through my side effects and symptoms of the medicine because there is quite a few. So let's go ahead and get started. So I want to go ahead and tell you a little bit about my skin before I started the medication. So before I started, my skin was super oily right in the T-zone, and then kind of combo oily out in the outer parts of my skin. My hair was super oily. Everything was oily. So just try to keep that in mind during this video, and also the remaining months that I have, because there's no more oil anywhere. When I first started to get acne, I noticed it when I turned 24. I don't know what happened, if it was my hormones or I don't know what happened, but I started getting them in this general area. And if you go back to my previous makeup videos from just like a couple months back, you'll be able to see that I'm starting to get them in this area. And then it just went crazy. My face just hated me all of a sudden, and it just got everywhere. And they weren't the kind of zits that were just, you know, you just pop them and then you're done, even though you're not supposed to pop them, like who doesn't? So they're not those kind of zits. These were the bumps that were like deep in the skin, like the cystic acne, the nodular acne. It was very, very, very painful. I remember when I was getting this acne that the zits and pimples and all that stuff was so bad in this area that even my hair and little strands of my hair touching it just like this anytime, it would hurt so bad just for that light touch. They were just so sensitive, so raw. It was just very, very painful and made for really hard. Just washing my face was just, it was just so bad. Like I could barely touch my face because it was so painful, and just putting lotion on, putting foundation on, anything was just so bad. So I'm very thankful that that stage is over and we've moved past that. So that was a little bit about my skin beforehand, just so you can kind of have something to judge everything else off of. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my weekly pictures of last month so you can kind of compare each week, and then we're going to end on my skin now. So I'll go ahead and show you those now. So now I'll go ahead and get a little bit closer to the camera. If you don't like zits, bumps, anything like that, you can go ahead and exit out or fast forward, because I know this is a little bit gross and a little bit just too much. So as you can see, I'm going to try to talk through this. On this side, I do have a little bit of zits forming, but mostly, if you can believe it, most of it is just acne scarring, which I am getting a lot of because of how the quantity of zits I've gotten over the past month. So a lot of this is just acne and then scars, and then the same on this side right here. Like I have very few to little active zits, but most of it is just scarring. As you can see, I've had some around my jawline, and not many scars right in this area or right up here, just a little bit, but mostly it's just harboring on my two cheeks. So it does look a little worse than when I started, and that's just because when you first start the medication, the first, I would say for me, it was about the first month, of taking it, it just makes your skin a whole lot worse than it was. So that's where all of these acne scars came from. So for the side effects or symptoms of the isotretinoin, I'm going to go ahead and name them or explain them in the order that they came, if that makes sense. And I have like little notes here, that's why I keep looking away. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about the first one, and that came in the first week, and then the last one I'll end on is either still happening or happened last week, but you kind of get the picture. So the first symptom I experienced was burning lips, and it was almost like they were sunburnt. It wasn't anything too bad, but it was enough to be annoying. They were just kind of raw, and just, if you've ever had sunburnt lips, you know, like the weird kind of feeling that it gives. It's kind of sensitive, but mostly just raw feeling, and that's how they felt for, I would say, the first week or so. The second symptom that I experienced was an increase in small acne after about 5 days, which I kind of touched on that earlier. So about 5 days into the medication, about a week in, I started noticing some acne coming forth, and that did not stop until about maybe a week before the month ended. I'm just now seeing that it's kind of slowing down, hence all of the acne scars, which I explained earlier. But I was told by the doctor, the pharmacist, the internet, and all the other people asking that it would get worse. And my doctor said, you know, the first couple of days, whatever. But this happened for me like about the first month. And which is fine, because from my understanding of the medication, what it does is it really closes the oil pores and just gets everything out of the whatever kind of dirt or grime is in the oil pores, I guess, or oil ducts. I don't know what to call them. It just closes them, and then everything that was in there kind of pops out. So that's why I was getting acne in places that I've never got it before, just because there was like built up dirt and stuff in there. I was told that was going to happen, but as long as it's not like huge zits that make you have fevers and stuff, I don't know how that could happen, but my doctor said it could, then you should be fine, and it's just completely normal. It's just something that has to happen with the medication, which sucks, but it's just, I mean, everybody says, you know, it has to get worse before it gets better, and that is totally true in this situation. So also in the first week, I noticed that without makeup, my face felt dry, but with makeup, my face was getting very oily, like oilier than normal. And I know my primers, I use the same primers, they're full oil control. I never switched anything up, but it was just not containing my oil, especially right here, just in this general area. I mean, it was dry without makeup. I had to put like extra lotion on, but then with the makeup, it was just like oil central, just shiny. I don't know, it just made me feel super gross. I guess it was just all the oil coming out. I'm not quite sure, but that only lasted for about a week and a half, so it was doable. So the next symptom I noticed was red skin, and it kind of felt sunburnt just like my lips. So I'm looking right here in the mirror, that's why I keep looking away. I felt sunburnt right in my nose area, like when I would scrunch it for whatever reason, it would just feel very sunburnt, and it was red, like it would get really red after the shower, and just for a while, like when I woke up, it would be red. That's kind of calmed down. It's not too bad. It still gets a little red when I'm out of the shower, which never happened before. So then about a week or a week and a half in, I started to notice dandruff. And I've never had dandruff before ever in my life, so it was really weird. I really didn't even know what dandruff looked like because I've never had it before. But when I noticed like little flaky things in my hair, I thought it was just like excess product. But I got down into it, and it really looked like dandruff. So I was like opening my hair just in different places, and everywhere I opened it, it was dandruff. And it was just the weirdest thing. Like I never had like an itchy scalp or anything. It just started to appear. And so the way I fixed that was just to wash my hair with Head & Shoulders shampoo. It is like, I guess it's like the #1 dandruff shampoo. It works great. They have lots of different scents to choose from. So if you have dandruff, I mean, it's worth a try, but it really helped me, and it also smells really good. The next symptom that I experienced, which I've been experiencing for a while and still kind of am, is a dry and flaky nose. So that kind of goes along with like the sunburnt feeling. I don't really feel sunburnt on my nose anymore, but it is super flaky. Like especially when I have makeup on. It doesn't matter what makeup, what foundation, what, you know, high end, low end, doesn't matter. It all flakes on my nose, and I can't figure out why. It never did that before. So I don't know, it's just kind of like a weird mystery to me. It's just, I don't know, it's just very weird. It just feels very textured, and I'm really not sure what's going on. Hopefully with taking this medicine more, it will kind of like even out my skin tone and like make the small little bumps go away, and then we can just forget about this. Another weird symptom I'm having is just dry, red, textured hands. And not like my palms, but like the back of my hand. So you probably won't be able to tell, but it's mostly this one, which I put some lotion on it so it's not as red, but both of the back of my hands are just kind of like scaly feeling and textured, and like they're like flaking skin off. I don't know what's going on. I was told it was eczema, but I've never had eczema before, so I'm really not sure what to look for that either. It's just like a weird symptom, and it's only on the back of my hand, so it doesn't really bother me that much. I'm not always looking at the back of my hands. I don't think anybody else is looking at the back of my hands, so that's not really something that bothers me. But if it were to move up my arms or my neck or something, that's something I'd probably have to deal with. So the last symptom that I'm still experiencing and have been experiencing since probably the first week or week and a half of taking this is lower back pain. And this is just very annoying because I cannot work out or lift weights like I used to, running, exercising, none of that. It just hurts way too much. Any kind of repetitive movement where I have to pick up something over and over again, or even walking for a long time, like around the mall or something, that starts to hurt my back. I assume it is because of the medicine. I've never had lower back pains before I started this, but if I do too much exercise or too much walking, if I try to even get up after sitting for a long time, it's just very, very painful, and there's nothing for it. I mean, I just gotta kind of deal with it until the medicine is over with, and that's fine if it clears my skin. I would say the lower back pain is probably the worst symptom I've experienced so far. I haven't really been too dry. I don't really have any complaints about that. My hair, one good thing about this medicine is that I don't have to wash my hair but once a week now, and I used to wash it every 3 to 4 days, so twice a week, and that was kind of pushing it. But now I only wash it once a week, and it still looks like I washed it, the day before, so that is a good thing. But the lower back pain and stuff, that's pretty hard to deal with, but I'm going to, because hopefully this gives me clear skin forever and we don't have to worry about it anymore. So that was it for this video. I hope you found it helpful, and if you're going through this, I feel your pain, or if you're trying, or if you're wondering if you should get into this medication, I think so far I think it's worth it. I haven't seen too much of a difference, but like I said, it's only the first month and it's supposed to get worse before it gets better. So I'm going into the second month, and I don't think I said this at the beginning of the video, but the first month I was on 40 milligrams once a day, and my doctor upped my dosage to the second month to 30 milligrams twice a day. So she said it should cause me to be more dry and everything, so hopefully I'll get some more results with my skin that way. So that will be interesting in the second month to see how it looks, compared to this. So if you have any other video requests for me, please leave them down below. I comment back to everybody. I see everybody's comment. If you have any questions about the medication or my experience, or just want to know about it in general, leave them down below. I'll be sure to answer them. Or if I don't know the answer, I'm sure someone watching does. So yeah, I hope y'all have a good week or weekend whenever you're watching this, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye y'all.